Okay, I think I'm a boomer. I think I'm a zoomer. I think I'm a doomer. Damn, I'm like a zoomer. Okay.
The Chinese are trying to kill me.
Again? E coming with the heat. I stay fooling with my bot, my tunes.
Welcome to the Grillcast, the only podcast in the world dedicated to radical centrism. I am your host, Orion. Joining me today is Micah.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Also joining me is recurring guest, the third man, Marsey. What's going on,
back
buddy?
Again, not much. Always glad to come in.
I just want to levy a little disclaimer to you grillas out there listening. You may notice I'm a little low energy today. This might be a low energy episode, and that is a result of the Chinese. I'm pretty sure I have COVID again, bros. And this isn't like a white woman hypochondriac thing.
No. Not at all.
Anyone who's had it knows that it feels different than anything else you've ever been sick
Shit
with.
hits different, it does.
Yeah, that shit, it hits different. And it's not like necessarily worse, but you can feel when it enters your body that it was made in a lab. It doesn't feel like God gave it to you. It feels like some gay Chinese dweeb handcrafted it just to attack
Just to
your
fuck with you.
sensibilities.
I'm pretty sure it was an American lab in China, or at least that it was like, I think Americans made it and then we released it on the Chinese.
Well, it may have been a collaborative effort, but, you know, at the end of the day, we know whose borders it crossed to get here.
No.
Yeah, it did cross state lines.
No, I think this is worth getting straight because I was doubting this for a long time because I was like, why would we have made this bioweapon and release it in China because it fucked over America so badly? But now I've been watching China and it has fucked over China way worse than it's fucked over America. So I actually think that we deliberately released released COVID to fuck over China. I don't think we can blame the Chinese.
I may have brain fog right now, but you sound straight retarded. That's a QAnon conspiracy theory. Look, it was obviously the Chinese. You can feel that this disease was made by bug people when it enters your body.
And so in response, Orion went out to a dance studio in California the other night and did some things that I personally don't condone.
I put on my best Vietnamese guy mask. Yeah, but I wonder, when I get COVID again, the year 2023, years past the initial incident where this happened, how the hell did we let the Chinese get away with this? This plague, this fucking plague comes out of their country, and when we ask what's up with this, when we're like, hey, what's going on with this virus that's destroying the world, they're just like, oh no, sorry, American, we didn't make it rap. Oh no, it's just from bat soup, and we just accepted that as fact. We just accepted that, like. We just said, like, oh yeah, those crazy Chinamen and their fucking bizarre cuisine, that checks out to me. How low of a form of life do you have to be that nobody is even a little bit surprised that you're eating bat fucking soup?
Well, we actually did, we cut off their access to, I forget, some kind of technology stuff I don't understand. We no longer import it there. We make it in, Vietnam. So we actually, fucked over the Chinese electronics industry, and then their housing industry is collapsing. China's actually falling apart right now, and is somewhat, at least, through, U.S. sanctions and U.S. actions. So,
well, that's not what our last communist guest said that we just talked to recently. He actually said that China #1.
I know, and I wish
they're overset. Just 2 more weeks, and they're going to overtake America any day now.
I wish I'd been there to talk to him about that, because that projection is from 10 years ago, and the current projection on China is that they're going to fall apart and shit the bed. A lot apart because they're still having mass lockdowns. Their economy is falling apart. China, do you think America's a shit show? China is tied with Great Britain for biggest shit show on earth right now.
Yeah, that's true. I also want to say, I did have some strongly worded things that I said about China and the Chinese, and none of that is actually racist because Chinese are fine when they come to America. Like, it's not the Chinese nationality that's the problem, it's the Chinese that are actually in their country. When they come here,
wouldn't
like,
that
they
be
learn
their
how to make...
nationality? I think that is their nationality, not their race.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Thank
that's all you really
But-
had to say is, it's not about race, it's about nationality. Although I do really respect your always feeling the need to qualify your racist statements.
Well, look, I'm not racist. I buy Chinese food. Like,
That's fair.
When the Chinese people here make food, they make it with normal fucking ingredients like pork and
MSG.
chicken with MSG, delicious sauce. Like, they make normal food. They're not like, oh yeah, American, here, have some bat soup. Like, no, that's...
Was it racist for like my dad's generation to hate the Vietnamese? Was it racist for my grandfathers to hate the fucking Japanese? Yeah, those ones. Like, it's not racist. It's because the war of our time is America versus Russia. It's not racist to hate them. It's patriotic.
Yeah, fuck those snow monkeys.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad that you have the bravery to say that.
My Raytheon stocks depend on it.
And look, I'm not the only person that's not a racist. Our president himself is also not a racist. Joe Biden recently, he went to a black people church on Martin Luther King Day to pay respects to the man who was totally not assassinated by the CIA.
Biden reconnecting with his roots here.
Yes, exactly. And, I watched this video that I'm going to play here in a second, and I feel this, like, sense of envy because I've always wanted to go to a black people church more than anything. Like, every internet racist wants an N-word pass, right? It's all they ever talk about. Oh, I have the pass, bro. But, like, a pass to go to a black people church is worth 1,000 times what an N-word pass is.
Yeah.
So I'd like to play a video to prove my point on that matter. I just want you to look at how enthused Joe Biden is to be here. He's like, why is the help dancing and singing? Am I in a Disney movie?
So I kind of like it.
I mean, I gotta be honest with you guys. Me as a white man, if I got put up on a stage in a black church and they were all singing and clapping for me, I would feel like a god.
I'd raise up my hands and be like, yeah, like doing like a side to side thing, conducting them. Yeah, I feel like the whole Sleepy Joe thing, it's pretty like played out, but he genuinely looks like very confused there. Like, it's like he said, like he just like woke up and is like, where am I? What's happening?
Well, I think more than even being sleepy, I think that he looks really uncomfortable and almost scared. And I think that's a result of him being a Catholic. Catholics, by nature, they're literally afraid of fun. They're afraid of good times. They literally... This is what the Catholic cuck believes. They believe that they should feel shame all the time, that they have to go to church and confess to their sins or whatever, instead of just jamming out, singing, swinging around on the rafters. You show your appreciation for the Lord through fun and friendship, and that's what Black Baptists understand. And this is, at odds with his upbringing as a Catholic cuck.
Yeah, that's because Protestants are new age hippie fucking idiots. Like, I don't know, man. Like, really? Oh yeah, I'm just gonna go to church and I'm not gonna be reverent. I don't understand like solemn prayer or like, a respectful like choir. Like if you were at a choir in like a cathedral, like it sounds like angels, not just like some hollering fucking. Yeah, no, Catholics have respect for traditions and they believe their places of prayer should be respectful. Wow, terrible.
What's disrespectful about those black people jamming for the Lord, shucking and jiving for the Lord? What's disrespectful about that?
It's honestly white Protestantism that's the problem to me. Like I don't have a problem with that. You know what they're doing, the jubial style of worshiping. It's like the commercialized, parking lot shopping center Protestants that really bother me.
Yeah, I kind of have to agree with you there.
No,
I kind of like Catholic services, or at least like Latin Mass. I think is kind of cool.
Yeah,
unironically.
Yeah, and it's in.
You just hear him speaking a bunch of goofy words you don't understand, but you kind of feel like you're in like Lord of the Rings or something. They're saying spells.
When's the last time the Protestants went and took back Jerusalem?
That's true.
Oh, they never did. When's the last time the Protestants did anything cool like that? Oh,
have we not?
Never.
Have we not had a Protestant president in the last 60 years plus? Because I think we have taken back Jerusalem.
Yeah. Well, you know what Joe Biden did?
Oh yeah, Donald Trump did that.
Ended abortion.
Yeah.
Could a Protestant fucking president overturn Roe v. Wade? No, they don't have the spine. Catholic gets it done.
Yeah, you do have a fair point there. Yeah, the Catholics do hate fun, so they're really good at clamping down and stuff like that.
I think
Joe
Catholics
Biden
drink more than Protestants.
You think so?
Yes. I don't think Protestants even participate in Mass.
Yeah, see, that's something I've always wondered. She was like, Catholics don't have a problem with drinking, and it kind of. Like, when I think about that juxtaposed with their opposition to abortion, and I'm like, well, you don't really oppose abortion, you just support doing it manually.
Yeah. No, Catholics just man up and take
don't
care
abort
of the
your
kid.
Make them come out retarded.
or come out so early that they die.
Catholics get drunk, they fuck, and then they just get married the next day and have the goddamn kid at 18 years old and 16 years old.
Look, I can respect it. I think I'll acquiesce the point that
let's not get hung up on religion. We have a lot of important topics to cover here.
We have a lot of important things to cover because, Joe Biden, he looked very confused there. He looked very out of place, but eventually he embraces the happy, jovial spirit, and he sings a bit of a song himself. This next video I'm going to play is Joe Biden singing Happy Birthday to Martin Luther King III's wife.
But congratulations today to the honorees, including your wife, who I understand is birthday today? Well, look, my wife has a rule in her family. When somebody's birthday, you sing happy birthday. You ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Alan. Happy birthday to you. Well, it's hell turning 30, but you got to...
Look, you can laugh all you want. You can laugh all you want at that, but do you know Martin Luther King III's wife's fucking name?
No, dude.
Nobody knows her name. Like Rosa Parks King III? I don't think so.
What did he say her name was? Velma? Is that what he said?
Valens?
Velma. He's been watching the new Velma. Yeah. He's like, well, this is a bunch of liberal bullshit. I tell you what, Jack. It's just stuck in his mind as the last black thing he saw.
The black one.
The last
Velma.
Black woman.
Velma.
Indian wife.
Rough. Pretty much the same. And speaking of Indians and blacks who are, kind of synonymous.
Did this
Kamala and Biden.
Oh, it did. I was wondering if that was actually going to be a real segue, and it actually was a legitimate, workable segue.
A beautiful segue. I'm very good at this. I'm a professional. Even with the COVID-induced brain fog, I can find a way to parlay this segment into Kamala and Biden. And they recently released a video where it goes to show what I love most about Kamala and Biden. And trust me, there's a lot of things to love about these two, this dangerous duo. And the thing I love most about our based executive office, it's the synergy that they have, Kamala and Biden. The way that they interact, it's just so natural. Their banter, it's so lighthearted.
It's like us.
Their chemistry, so undeniable. We're lucky they don't have a podcast, Mike.
Yeah.
I know.
We'd
be fucked. We'd be out of a job, man.
I have nightmares about that.
Well, we're safe for now, as long as they're leading our glorious nation. I doubt that they'll do that. But they do, however, have a video together that I'd like to share with the audience, because it really highlights their epic and strong connection that they share.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, team.
Hi, guys.
How are you? What do you think? I think we're off to a pretty good start.
I think we're off to a great start. I
Hard to
mean,
believe it's 2 years, huh?
well, just remember where we started and all that was happening in our country. And I think the thing that has motivated us is the resilience, the determination of the American people.
Yeah, they stuck with us.
Right?
I mean,
I wish people could see what I see.
They stuck with us well. Sort of. Like, the way that she's talking to him is kind of like trying to hype him up and like remind him that they've been doing this for 2 years now, and he's like, wow, that's who are you? What?
I don't like that she wears a suit. It's very mannish, especially like the broad shoulders thing on like a woman's suit like that. It's kind of vulgar, honestly.
It's kind of offensive. Yeah,
It's kind of offensive, and she like tries to like re-feminize it with this like strange tie thing, and it just comes off like more deranged. Like, just wear a what normal women wear that isn't a goddamn suit, or like a women's suit that doesn't have like giant football linebacker shoulder padding.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like she kind of looks like a child wearing a suit. Like, oh, you're trying to be professional.
yeah. Like, it looks like it's kind of too big for her almost.
Yeah.
It's not fitted properly.
No.
Just like her being the vice president.
Yeah.
Well, let's, she's gassing him up. Let's see how she continues on, because Biden hasn't really had a lot to add into this.
See, sometimes I've been in the Oval Office with you when the cameras are there, and mostly when the cameras are not, and what you have singularly done based on who you are, and I mean this in all sincerity, to bring together nations, allies in the world, and you bring folks together in a bipartisan way, uniquely.
Well, you're very
You've been
gracious.
an incredible leader these last 2 years.
I really think, as you've heard me say, foreign leaders, there's never been a good bet to bet against America.
Yeah.
What a Chad.
That's very true.
Yeah.
You don't bet against America. You just tells everybody, every other leader of every other country that, like, you're coming into the casino here, you're gonna throw down your chips. Don't fuck up there, Jack. And what's funny is, like, she keeps talking and talking, and he's like looking down. He's like, "That's very gracious. Please shut up. Please stop. Please stop talking." And she doesn't get the hint.
Yeah.
She just keeps fucking going.
Biden speaks for himself, in all honesty.
Right.
I mean, he does not need a soothsayer to convince any of us of his greatness.
Right. He doesn't need this woman gassing him up. He's already fully fueled.
We created almost 11 million jobs, 750,000
Right.
manufacturing jobs.
Think about that, and on top of capping the cost of insulin at $35 a month.
That's pretty
what
big.
we've done.
Okay. I want to talk about that. This whole like debate about fucking insulin, like, oh, isn't it ridiculous how much it costs? No, not really, because you did it to your fucking selves, you diabetic fat piece of shit.
I mean,
Like-
granted, I see that side of the argument too, but at the same time, I do think it's kind of funny when the state like just jumps in and fucks over corporations and
Don't they have-
you know,
Don't they
entrepreneurs.
have health insurance?
Yeah, health insurance
Yeah.
isn't even that much. Like,
Yeah.
don't you have a job? Like, the thing is, the people that need this insulin, and I agree with your point. Like, I'm not here simping for the pharmaceutical companies. They can get fucked too. But like, at the end of the day, who needs insulin to be that cheap? It's the millions of fat, retarded, jobless losers who make up the voting base for both parties. And that's why it's such a hot button issue.
I do think like it's a bit of a cope when people will cry about how it's genetic or whatever. 'Cause I think the vast majority of instances it is life choice. It's based on a life choice. Maybe there is some predisposition to it, but I mean,
Why does the government come out and support our car salesmen, our high-level businessmen, and cap the price of cocaine at $35 a gram?
Exactly.
That would help me out so much right now. I'd be
so
a lot
hot.
less low energy this
That's
episode,
what I'm
bro.
like. Wait, these people need cocaine, and it is cripplingly expensive. Especially a lot of our
It
nation's
is.
poorest have
It
to
is.
use crack because, well, I'm not even sure crack is cheaper. I don't know, but
Well, they have to use meth.
yeah,
You
they
know?
have to use meth. We have meth
And they wouldn't have to
problems
rely on
because
such like so many shady sales tactics to make
Our-
the money that they desperately need.
our hardworking stimulant addicts are kneecapped by this incredible price fucking gouging by these.
Right, and it's an investment into our future. Capping the price of cocaine to $35 a gram. What happens when you cap insulin to $35 a dose or whatever the fuck it is? Well, you just have more fat retards subsisting and not doing anything. When you do that for stimulant addicts, they're going out and getting shit done. They're collecting catalytic converters.
If we got
They're,
these
collecting.
insulin addicts to switch to cocaine, they wouldn't need insulin anymore.
This is
That's-
also
yeah.
very true. Trading sugar for the booger sugar. That's a very cogent point you have there. I'm gonna press play now.
We have created more small businesses in the last 2-year span than any 2-year span in history.
And look, there's
I feel
situations
good.
as well where we've kind of united
The adrenochrome
it
hit.
hasn't been for a while. And I think people are starting to realize that what you and I have been saying, there's not a damn thing we can't do if in
Right.
fact we do it together. More African Americans have health care, more women are employed in
What is that thing?
Whoa.
Joe, get down, Mr. President. There's a Terminator behind you. Holy fuck, bro. I've never thought a woman could beat me up before. I thought that was impossible, but that thing could fucking... Is that Shrek? Is that Shrek?
Look, I need you to relax.
His
Yo.
lords over them all.
How is there this many women in one picture and not one of them is above a 5 out of 10?
I was about to say the exact
Hold on, give me a
same
second.
thing.
Give me a second. Give me
No,
a second.
not
Give me a second.
one of
I'll
them.
find her.
Like,
I'll find
I'd
her.
hit
I'll find her.
probably the Jewish one on the far right and like a couple in the background.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
about it.
No, the one to the left of the Jewish one isn't that bad. She just needs to not smile.
Yeah, it's got a face problem.
I also have a problem with women smiling. It's why
Yeah.
I act the way I do towards them. Like, you stupid bitch. What are you so happy about? Come down to my level. Join me in the swamp.
Oh God,
I'm glad you paused
okay.
the video to make
Very
this,
like conservative
out.
talking point, whatever. But he just keeps being like, we created this many jobs in the last 2
Yeah.
years. We created the most small business in history. And it's because of COVID. We destroyed all that stuff. We destroyed all of it. Like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's been talked to
Look,
death.
COVID taketh away and COVID giveth.
Yeah.
Like, the inverse
Yeah.
of that. I don't know. Fuck you.
COVID taketh away my brain functionality. I'll tell you that much. But look at this. Look at this. There's like this huge coping point about like, oh, Joe Biden saying he added all these jobs, but it's because of COVID. But who was president when COVID started? Was it Joe
Exactly.
Biden? No, he stepped in and he fixed it. He stepped in and he did the work to bring our country back and, dare I say, make America great again. Look at how happy all of these stupid holes are surrounding Joe Biden.
They kind of like psyoped, like, I don't know. Everyone's like, we have to lock down. We have to lock down. And then the second they got the White House, they're like, we're not going to do this anymore.
Look, all I know is I don't remember seeing Bill Clinton in a picture like this before.
I don't think women would be that comfortable around old Billary.
I don't
But-
think that's true. Like, that's a post.
I just mean from when he was president.
Yeah, well, wait,
Obviously.
they didn't let this many women into wherever the president was.
That's true. Yeah.
But
It
like,
was
I
the
don't
90s.
think Bill.
It was a different
Bill
time.
Bill being
better
creepy is a
time.
post-Bill in office thing. Before Bill was in office, he wasn't creepy. He was like older Obama,
Suave.
where women were
Yeah.
like, yeah, Bill's kind of, you know what I mean? Bill kind of got wet. He was like,
Well, no,
you
that's
know,
what I was making the comparison is like, you hear all those things about Bill Clinton, and yet, you never see him surrounded by this many women in a picture, smiling.
Especially not this many ugly women. I don't think Bill Clinton
Which,
would
you
have
know-
allowed that.
What do you mean? Bill Clinton literally prioritized harassing ugly women.
yeah, actually. Although, okay, it must be
I'm
said,
just getting BTFO'd here, bro.
Hillary
Holy shit.
Clinton was actually hot.
Yeah, Hillary
when-
Clinton, Monica Lewinsky, whoever that chick
No,
was that he
but-
raped when he was governor.
Hillary
They were
Clinton
all-
was
they
a
were all-
fox. when she was younger. That's true. You can pull up the pictures. She was actually
All right,
really
I'm pulling
good
up
looking.
pictures.
Bill got suckered into a relationship. I mean, it was a power relationship, but she was actually good looking when she was young.
Decent job.
And how about the fact that there is now a name that the world knows, and the name is Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson.
And more appellate court female judges who are
Right.
black than all other presidents in American history.
Yeah.
I feel good about where we are.
It's
really
groundbreaking.
do.
We've
We got a lot more to
momentum.
do.
We got momentum.
Got me
Oh
now.
yeah, wow. And look, they're having nice burgers at the end there because they eat goy slop just like us, guys. They're just
Yeah.
like us.
What was that? I did never just some shitty burger in that room. Really?
Yeah, what kind of president would just get shitty burgers and eat them in office?
That didn't
Who
look
set
like a
that precedent?
They really thought that was something to emulate, though. I mean,
I think that's a based move, honestly. Like
do we-
connecting with the everyman, like the insulin enthusiast class watches that, and they have like ketchup stains on their shirt, and they're like, yeah, that's just wow, they're just like me. They're also fat slobs who eat goy slop burger.
that wasn't like, I don't know. You could show some status and have like a good burger with like like a good, like that looked like a really awful burger and not served in a piece of cardboard. You're in the goddamn White House. I mean, you have plates. You have really nice silverware.
Who would serve fucking disgusting fast food burgers and cardboard in the White House? Who set that precedent?
Wasn't the whole point that we were
So
trying to... Isn't Joe
unpresidential.
trying to like put class back into the presidency? Wasn't the idea to like not be Donald Trump, that was a bad thing, that bringing McDonald's into the White House was actually not something we should strive for with our presidents? That looked worse than McDonald's.
That's true. McDonald's does get a bad rap. McDonald's didn't do anything wrong, and it's because of that stupid fucking... Did you guys have to watch that documentary in school, Super Size Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, when they're like, "Oh, what if I go and eat 10,000 calories of McDonald's a day? Will it be bad for my health?" Like, yeah,
And
obviously.
he only gains
man.
a little bit of weight. I mean, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he doesn't even he gets like average American fat. He doesn't even,
Yeah.
it's not even that bad.
Yeah.
And it was like propaganda. McDonald's should have sued for defamation, honestly.
They really should have. They should have sued the state, because there was a university professor that after that was like, "Oh yeah, I'll go." There was like a dietitian who was like, "I'll go live on McDonald's for a year, and as long as I eat normal calories, like less than 2,500 calories a day or whatever," he fucking was like, "I'll be fine," and he did. He was totally fine.
Yep.
You can live on McDonald's.
I mean, that's the whole point of McDonald's. It was made so that it could be something that the average person could live off of, if they choose to.
And that's the base freedom of choice that we have in this country. You can eat McDonald's all day. You can get your $35 insulin.
Again,
You can live your best life.
It's like drugs, like drugs are made for people to use them, not in excess, but to satiate their needs. But people still abuse them. It's not the drug's fault. It's not the Big Mac's fault.
But yeah, we have to pay $80 a gram for cocaine.
This is true.
So true, King. The cokehead's plight is one that is unspoken so much. So
Truly one of the most oppressed classes.
And you know who else is oppressed is our boy George Santos. We've talked about him.
You sound so
And-
sad.
Bro, I'm hurting, bro. It's okay, though. This is what I do for you, my grillas. Look, rain or shine, sick or completely healthy and ripped and yoked and handsome. No matter what my condition is, I come out here to bring you this entertainment on a weekly basis. And if this is something that you appreciate, if you're hearing me right now and the pain I'm going through just to bring you this centrist awesome content, then you should go check out our Gumroad, thegrillcast.gumroad.com. We'll be posting a bonus episode there by the end of the month, an exclusive episode that you won't be able to hear anywhere else. You don't want to be left out. You don't want to be left out and be unenlightened. It's really important shit. It's like How are you going to get an A if you miss the class?
Right.
If you want to test as a radical centrist king,
we could be revealing the secrets on how to not appear gay to your friends and family.
Right. I mean, it's really, really riveting stuff that we're going to be covering. So make sure you go check out the grillcast.gumroad.com. Sign up today for as low as $5 because George Santos would sign up if you listen to the show. Because he's a based radical centrist king. And look, George Santos, he's been under fire for a while now. This is a guy who, from every angle, people trying to take him down, make him out as somebody who's a scumbag, who's a liar, who's a piece of shit. And we've covered those before and why they were, garbage accusations, but they continue. This is what happens when their attacks don't work. They take out the magazine and they say, okay, well, this time we're going to try fucking hollow points. The Full Metal Jacket didn't work. We're going to throw in some hollow points and see if we can take them down with these. And so let's start with the first allegation that has been pointed at him recently. It's alleged that he stole GoFundMe money to the tune of $3,000 that was going to a poor veteran sick dog. This dog had a tumor, it needed medical assistance. This guy, for some reason, was too dumb to sign up for a credit card, and so he needed a handout. And allegedly, George Santos was there to help him, and this all fell apart. Now, this guy has come out and said, I have been wronged by Santos, and I want to play this video to kind of disseminate and dismantle the allegations that are set forth against our based radical centrist king, George Santos.
I know that you mined my dog and my friends and family's hearts to raise money for yourself. And he told me that was the most offensive, horrible thing anybody had ever said to him.
Okay, so let's stop here. Boom! They tried to hide it. They put that text over there to hide it. It's a shit bull. Strike one. Strike one. It's a shit bull. And look, they did everything they could to obfuscate it from this picture. No, it's not a baby mauling dog. It's a normal dog that you would have, feelings for, that you'd have empathy for. I don't think so. Okay.
I'm a little confused about how you could be in the Navy in the last 10 years and have PTSD.
Well, he goes into that in a little bit. I want to dismantle that too.
Was he afraid of water? Did he have a phobia of water?
Oh no, I'm claustrophobic and I go on a pool for too long.
Yeah, I think that's about
how unfortunate.
That's about how valid it is. But look, he says that he got swindled because George Santos started the GoFundMe for this guy. And it's okay, why didn't you just start the GoFundMe in your name? Why did you start it in somebody else's name? That's already a weird detail, number one.
Red flag.
Anybody can go on. It takes 5 minutes to set it up. Is he so dumb that he can't do that? That he can't have the money go to his own bank account? I don't see how somebody else steals your money in that manner. But we're going to continue this video here because it gets worse, Mike.
Wait, it's a service dog? I'm sorry, but you can't have a pit bull as a service dog.
No.
Okay.
Unless the service you needed to do is to rip babies' faces off.
Which is valid.
Or other people's dogs, if its service is to murder other people's dogs at a dog park. But yeah, let's continue. It gets worse. I know it's already shocking.
That dog saved my life at least 2 times. When I first got out of the service, I was depressed. I was having nightmares.
2 children came after.
Bad memories about some things that happened.
Kinda looks
Not
like
war-related, but other things that the military does to you.
Wait, so he has PTSD, not from war, but from what? He got yelled at by a drill sergeant? I don't even think they do that anymore.
Other things they do to you? Are you serious? Oh my god, bro.
The whole part about being a veteran and having PTSD is you actually earn that shit. Like, you know, that's why everybody respects veterans.
It's like a merit badge.
Yeah, you respect a veteran's PTSD because you're like, yeah, man, you've seen some shit, but you don't respect like a dumb white woman on Twitter saying she has PTSD because it's like, yeah, you're
the most privileged person on the planet. Yeah.
You know what this guy actually probably has PTSD from is when he first went to like some veterans PTSD support group and was like, I didn't actually see any combat, and everyone in the room
They all
was
just
like,
fucking dogpiled him.
gay.
Just bullied the fuck out of him.
like missing legs and shit. Just wow, dude. Not war related.
I'm sorry. I can't respect the PTSD of a guy that didn't even like see he either didn't see combat, which is likely, or secondarily he did and he just doesn't care. He's a sociopath.
What's crazy is you could tell the moment you saw him with like his beard and like the set, his like physiognomy, whatever that's called, where you can see like the shape
Physiognomy.
of their you can see by the like shape of his face and his shit. He has the lib cuck, like I don't know, like the soy boy, the like I don't know. It's all like you can see it. Like when he's saying he's a vet, and I'm like, I know you didn't see combat.
No, he cleaned toilets on like a Navy ship or something, and he probably has PTSD because some dude like shat in one really bad and got it everywhere. You know, just blew it the fuck up, and he had to go in there and deal with it. I relive it every day.
The one real possibility is that he might have been raped.
That's And you know, I can respect that.
That
but
one
he has
might
to
be
admit
valid.
to it.
I can understand.
Yeah, he has to admit to it.
But you have to defend yourself. You know, if you get in that situation, it's because you didn't defend yourself.
Yeah.
But
if you're a man, yeah.
The body has ways of shutting that down.
Okay, let's continue.
I was very suicidal. I would start crying and for no reason. And
average guy cry member here.
If I didn't have that little princess with me, I probably would have not been here to speak to you right now. At least 2 times. I was homeless at the time. I had broken an ankle really bad. Couldn't work for a year and a half, so I couldn't pay my rent, and I was evicted.
Wait a minute. You broke your ankle and you couldn't work for a year and a half? Does that check out to you, my Grillos? Does that seem logical to you? Because that's a month and a half at most.
More
I could get away with it, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he couldn't get away with it. He had no money and got evicted. And then he was camping out with his pit bull. This pit bull has hurt somebody. I'm sorry, homeless man with a pit bull. Like, not that there's anything wrong with that. Like, I think homeless people should be allowed to own guns. I think that you have a constitutional right to have a dangerous weapon, which is what I declare a pit bull to be. Yeah. But like, this is like a homeless guy telling us that we need to fund his like fixing his AR-15. You know, like
look at that thing. Like, it's really blurry. They intentionally obfuscate it again so you don't see that it's a shit bowl, but it's on like a very strong, sturdy chain. This isn't a nice dog. Like, this thing's a killer. Okay, I'll continue the video.
This is my therapy dog, Bone Breaker.
In Howell, New Jersey, with my dog, and she had already had that growth growing. It was getting bigger and bigger by the minute, it seemed. I finally decided to take her to the vet to see what they could do to have it removed, and they gave me a $3,000 quote.
Okay, through a veterinary technician, Ossoff was connected with the man who went by Anthony DeVolder. Does that sound like George Santos to you? Do those 2 names sound alike?
No.
I don't think so. Oh, he's been known to use it in the past.
He said,
"Where's your source for that? Where's the source that he's used that name in the past?"
He was very, he had his feelers out, and with his charity, it would help me very much to get the money in a sooner amount of time than later. So we raised $3,000 in 2 months, maybe 3 months. It was 6 years ago. And as soon as the money came through, I was like, great.
We could save your dog.
We can get it right in and get this done. Mr. DeVolder Santos decided that he did not want me to use my local vet. He wanted me to use his vets in Long Island or Queens.
Wait a minute. So this guy says that a vet tech at his local vet referred him to George Santos or Anthony DeVolder, right? That he referred him to this guy, this vet tech, who was his local vet. But then he said, you can't use the guy that referred you to me. And does that make sense? Is there a disconnect there?
This is a homeless man that wanted to pocket this money, bro. This guy wanted to pocket this money. Like, he's like, yeah, just go do it at one of the vets I can check up on and know this actually happened. He's like, no, you're stealing from me. Give me $3,000. That's what this is.
This is 100%. Like Santos is just like, when you encounter a homeless person in the city and they ask you for money for food and you're like, well, I'll just walk into the store, tell me what you want. And then they're like, no. And you're like, well, what the fuck, dude? I just offered to get you your food. What's the problem?
That's exactly true. That's exactly correct. And that's what I was trying to convey, really.
This guy served for 2 years, got a dishonorable discharge, probably for drugs, did more drugs, became homeless, got a pit bull, tried to start a GoFundMe scam. It's all coming together.
Right. And it's clear as day to a centrist, but if you're a wingcuck, you see this, you just think, oh, the poor heckin' doggerino. The poor doggerino. George Santos, bad.
Yeah, you see Santos as an easy target, obviously, because the guy's getting flamed for, not being as a flaming homo as people thought he was. He sees him as an easy target.
I have some stuff to get into after this. He's definitely as or more flaming than people have perceived, but let's I agree, but here we go.
I don't drive. I was homeless, and I paid a ride. I paid a friend to bring me up there.
To his vet.
To his vet. I paid the tolls, the gas, lunches, and DeVolder was supposed to pay me back for that. I even was dumb enough to give him my bank account and my routing number because he said he was going to put the money right into my account. Never happened. That was when I started smelling something fishy.
And you never got $1 of the money?
Never got anything.
Wait, so did you get to the vet? What happened with that? You said you got up there, right? You said you got up there, you hit the toll roads, you paid for these lunches, all this shit, but what's the conclusion to that story? It doesn't sound like he ever made it there because, like you said, Marsey, he's trying to pull a fucking scam.
I'm also pretty fundamentally opposed to the idea that a person, like, sometimes pets die and you can't pay for their bill. And I'm kind of opposed to the idea that as someone who has no car, no job, no housing, that even the idea of paying for a $3,000 surgery for your dog is a reasonable thing. Like, is charity, wouldn't it be more reasonable to ask for charity so you can get, like, a place to live and then, like, I don't know, man. That make me, like, non-empathetic.
Yeah, it's a fucking dog. You're homeless.
It's a dog, man. Go adopt another goddamn dog. I'm sorry.
It's a pit bull, especially. Yeah. It's not like it's a fucking... The pit bulls are a fucking dime a dozen.
Yeah, we need to be moving in the opposite direction on that front. We need to be putting some of these things down. There's too fucking many.
Go adopt a nice dog that isn't going to maul a child.
Or even just adopt another pit bull that you can use as a lethal weapon so people don't fuck with your tent. Like, that's fine too, but like, I don't know. But the thing is, nobody's going to donate to the guy, and that's why he ran the scam. No one's going to donate to some weirdo being like, I'm trying to get my life together. You can see in his eyes that he's a sinister person, you know?
Yeah. He goes and he tries to take advantage of some a reputable person's credible institution.
We were talking about that stolen valor thing, and like, I feel like there should be a similar, like, it's almost like saying that if you like joined the Navy and then probably got dishonorably discharged after like a year, and then you go around wearing a Navy sweatshirt and panhandling and claiming you have PTSD for the rest of your life. Like, this guy, all he talks about is being like, I'm a veteran. Like, that to me is almost like more hardcore stolen valor than like not even going in the first place.
Right. Yeah. Right. Because he should have reason to, he knows people that are affected by that. Actually, he knows people in his community like actually have PTSD from seeing horrible things, and he's stealing their experience. He never lived because he was scrubbing toilets in a fucking Navy destroyer or whatever. Oh yeah, so did you notice that like they never did anything to tie like Anthony DeVolder or whatever the name was? They never did anything to tie that to George Santos.
Yeah, no, they just speculated.
They just said that.
Allegedly, it was a name that he might have used.
This guy never met George Santos. He never saw him. He has no leg to stand on here. It's pretty obviously a hit job in my estimation. But
yeah,
you know,
no, you're
I
100%
agree
correct.
with that.
Well, now that we've thoroughly debunked this initial attack by this gay fake veteran, I'd like to go on and talk about the next attack vector that they're using against him. Because, like I said earlier, they just don't stop until they hit. You know, they're trying everything they can. George Santos, a king. He's standing up. He's not letting himself be dragged down. But he did drag himself up. A few years ago, I don't have the year on the top of my head, he went to Brazil and really proved that he is a actual valid homosexual, much to the dismay of his haters. So I'll go ahead and play that.
I can't wait to see this.
There he is. all dragged out.
Yep.
Looks beautiful. Well
Exactly.
done.
Did he live in Brazil before this, or did he like fly down there as an American to go to a sketchy Brazilian drag show?
Yeah, that's exactly what he did. he was
I
just there
respect it. I mean, because he can't be himself in this country. This country is intolerant towards that kind of lifestyle. So I mean, you got to go somewhere safe like Brazil if you want to express yourself freely.
I almost respect that. Yeah, I kind of. Yes, I'm going to fly out to a kind of dangerous country and go out and like do a drag show and be like a drag performer and like who knows? I don't know. That's a risky move.
Well, look, if you can't keep it in the bedroom, like that, obviously that's the number one goal, right? Keep it in the bedroom. But if you can't do that, go to another country and do it.
Keep it in Brazil.
That's like a different kind of sex pest. Usually like these sex pest politicians, they like fly down there and like exploit, like women in Brazil or something. But he flies down there and presumably, I'm kind of assuming, got banged by a bunch of Brazilian men. Like it's like a reverse. You know what I mean?
Right. It's supposed to be some sort of scandal that he's doing this because he's like, oh, he's a Republican and Republicans don't like that. But it's like, first of all, he's not going down there and harvesting adrenochrome and fucking children. He's going out there and having sex with like weird guys.
Yeah.
And
weird consenting guys.
No, that's it's an odd move. Never seen that before. I wouldn't be surprised if there's other politicians that do the exact same thing. They probably haven't been caught.
Right.
Go off,
and
king, queen, whatever.
Whatever it is. Like the Republicans only have a problem with it if you do that and then you read a book to children.
Yeah.
And he's not gay, so I mean he is gay. He's not cringe, so he doesn't read books.
Does that mean that they would be okay with children reading books to drag queens?
I think the whole problem is the proximity
so.
of children to drag queens in general is the problem. Less the reading of the books, actually.
Are you sure it's not the reading of the books? I feel
that's the problem
depend.
I have. Like drag queens, they can hang out with kids because they're just people too. It's when they start grooming them by trying to make them think that reading books is cool or okay. That's a problem I have.
I do have a lot of problems with like modern queer literature, which is why I would not want a gay person reading books to my kids. Like,
why are you reading modern queer literature to the degree that you know what it's about?
Back in the day, Oscar
Wilde.
Wilde,
gay?
Right? Oscar Wilde, possibly the greatest writer of all time. A Picture of Dorian Gray. Like, I mean, this was like at one point, which was
this
like,
all sounds really gay.
Mason, you're scaring me.
All right.
Poor guy going off to make a point.
Gets BTFO'd with the facts and logic.
At one point, queer literature was something to be respected, but modern queer literature is not something to be respected.
Can we clip that, please?
Oh, yeah, That'll be your introduction for every episode from now on. So that's
at one point in
why
time.
can't we be like the old gays? You know,
If
the ones
these-
that were
if-
real masculine. They had wives. They hid it from everyone.
If these drag queens were reading Oscar Wilde, it would be much more okay. It would be like, oh yes, they're teaching these kids like, whatever, man, whatever, forget it.
All right, we'll forget it.
I will.
Well,
I will attempt
that's
to forget it.
I'll forgive but not forget. How about that?
You guys just aren't educated enough for this conversation. You know, it's fine.
All right. Well, anyway, that's about all I got on base centrist King George Santos. Everybody, send him your prayers and thoughts.
Indeed.
Oh, wait. No. I do have one more thing. I'm
Bastard.
sorry. So, because, George Santos, as we can all see, he's being attacked left and right with a bunch of ridiculous allegations and claims, but he's not going to take it lying down. George Santos is a man who will persevere. This is a man who will fight back. He will own the libs. And this video I'm going to show now is exactly how he's gone about doing so.
Guys, I bought you guys some lunch. Since you guys are staying out here all day, so I just wanted to make sure you guys are taken care of.
Look at these parasites.
More about the amended FEC filing and on top of it more to mention that
Ha ha! Take that, libtard! You get to eat delicious Chick-fil-A now. I bet you feel stupid, don't you? Libtard!
Eat the homophobic chicken, libtard.
But they will. You know what? That's the real line. Like, if you're so wing-cucked that you can't appreciate fucking Chick-fil-A,
Yeah,
you got a problem. I feel like
that is a
I
good
don't know.
metric. I
Same with
agree.
like Ben and Jerry's ice cream. Like if you're
Yeah.
so wing-cucked, you're like,
Yeah.
I'm not eating Ben and Jerry's. They're gay or like
They're
whatever.
progressive.
Yeah, they're progressive, so I think their ice cream sucks. So you're deranged. You're fucked up.
Well, the true centrist appreciates quality over the quantity of their belief system, right? Like, I could completely disagree with something or somebody, but I will consume product if it meets my expectations. And
Exactly.
Chick-fil-A and Ben & Jerry's meet those standards.
Exceed standards.
Exceeds, yeah.
Excellent products.
I will
Two
say,
thumbs
though,
up.
2 thumbs up indeed. I will say, though, that, I do stand with the black community in that Popeyes is better than Chick-fil-A. I understand why black people shoot each other over Popeyes. It's just that good.
God damn it.
I agree with that.
Why
this
do
is
you
a bit of an aside, but last time I had Chick-fil-A, I was sitting out and we went somewhere else and then we're sitting out in this park and next to us there was this man and his wife who were apparently getting divorced and having their like big blow up like, well, I'm taking the kids and you're taking the house and like I can't believe you
I'm
did
taking this
and you
5-piece
never
meal.
provided." And I was just like sitting there eating Chick-fil-A, sitting there like listening to this like hideous drama. And my friends were like, bro, we should like move. And I'm like, no, dude, I'm
Yeah, hell no.
listening. I'm listening. It was crazy.
I'm surprised the Chick-fil-A manager didn't like rush out and start marriage counseling them.
It's just like,
That's how good their fucking customer service is.
what are we gonna say to the kids, huh? What am I gonna say to the kids, huh? Who was she? Like it was like something out of a TV show. I was looking around for cameras. It was wild.
That's one of the best things in life is watching somebody's life fall apart and having nothing to do with them. Just being an observer and seeing it go down. I mean, that's the basis of all reality TV and so on. So
Just dunking my chicken tendies.
yeah, and you just get to eat there and eat delicious tendies. Watch the show. What a great time! I'm envious that you
Yeah.
got to experience that.
That's another thing. Yesterday, I realized that Amazon Prime has Amazon Prime TV, and there's an entire channel called the Divorce Court Channel, where it's just a 24/7 channel where you can just watch Divorce Court. And I was just thinking, like, imagine you like catch your wife like watching that like all the time. Like, she just wants to watch Divorce Court channel.
I keep thinking like cable TV can't get any more depraved, and yet it does.
Why would you want to watch that? Like, oh my god, man!
Like, there's one now called I think MILF Manor. I've been seeing it around where like it's a dating show with like MILFs and their sons. They aren't dating their own
What?
sons, but
The sons are like
son-
trading.
Yeah, they're
moms?
trading moms.
Oh my
yeah.
fucking god!
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet, but it's on the list because that seems awesome.
No.
It's part of the decline, but can't you just enjoy the decline?
What would happen if one of the moms died during production? Would that son also have to get kicked off the show? Would they get
just
eliminated?
kill the son too.
Yeah.
Then he's got his story for the rest of the season. The rest of the season, you have to hear him just like go on dates with old women and tell them about it. Man.
Wait, yeah, actually, then one of the MILFs has to double up,
Yeah, they
It becomes a
double up.
polycule.
Okay.
All right, well, Micah, I think speaking of many people fucking things up, I think you have I don't know how good of a segue that was. I'm cutting that. I'm editing that.
Cut that segue.
Cut that segue. But Micah, I think you have
some
something
things.
to present.
Yeah, I had some stuff I wanted to get your thoughts on, just because I thought it was interesting. This apparently happened today. The CEO of Meta / Facebook, Instagram, whatever. They just reinstated Trump's Facebook account, and that's not really interesting because Trump isn't really interesting anymore. But what is interesting is what his comment on the matter was, which is this. He said, "Democracy is messy and people should be able to make their voices heard. We believe it is both necessary and possible to draw a line between content that is harmful and should be removed and content that, however distasteful or inaccurate, is part of the rough and tumble life of a free society."
Yeah.
So
that was his comment, or was that
that was his comment, and to me, that's basically them saying that they're officially recognizing that allowing misinformation is profitable.
Not only is it profitable, but it's fun. Because look, I don't want to see a bunch of people telling the truth all the time because they're always wrong anyway. Like their truths, they're not valid. They're not valid. They're not fun. What is fun is intentionally lying to cause chaos and discord.
I think if you like roam enough online, you've probably noticed this being like this precedent being set. Depending on what like spheres of politics you pay attention to, the whole like COVID vaccine misinformation campaigns and stuff like that. That stuff's like suddenly gone. Like they're allowing Ben Shapiro to run all these like ads for his like articles talking about like died suddenly shit. When isn't that stuff that they would have blocked like literally a year ago? But they're realizing that it's making them money. And so it could be done from either side because truth should be determined in the free marketplace of social media advertisement campaigns, which is what God intended.
Well, we should determine the truth by whoever is spending the most money.
Exactly.
One of the things that is disappointing about this news, I think overall it's a good thing. But, I have a balanced approach to these things. And I think that the idea that people are going to see that this is allowed back again because they need more money, and it validates the thought process of go woke, go broke, which is one of the worst phrases I've ever heard in my life. I hate it when people say that because it's just not true.
Yeah.
Go woke, go broke. Go woke, go broke. Like no, like woke people usually have a lot of money because they have cushy office jobs where they don't actually do anything but get paid six figures. Yeah. That's not the reality of the situation, Buster.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, this is good. This is good news for us, as well, because now we can run advertisements and get away with it.
As propagators of misinformation, we just need to, and that's why people should donate to the Gumroad, because if we just continue to use these services for free and propagate misinformation, we're going to get in trouble for that. But if we start paying the misinformation tax, if we start giving them money, then they're going to be a lot more lenient with us. So go check out that Gumroad at thegrillcast.gumroad.com. My grill is, we've done a lot today, haven't we?
I think so.
There's been a pretty wide breadth of coverage. That's pretty. Yeah.
We dive into the news that not everyone's talking about. We haven't come on the show today and talked about Velma for hours, talking about how it's woke or whatever. We come in with the hard-hitting political analysis that you need.
Really, really quick. On the, I know you both are familiar with Trump and Biden. Which declassified documents did they take home with them? What do you think?
Oh, right.
Okay.
I'm thinking Trump took anything that had to do with aliens.
Yeah. That seems like a Trump thing to do. I think Biden probably took the cloning information in the black site locations.
Yeah, I think they both took like adrenochrome harvesting process information. That's a bipartisan movement.
Well, okay, so Trump might actually want to declassify the alien stuff. He talked about it, so he wants that in his back pocket. He's like, oh yeah, I'll declassify the aliens. And then Biden probably has like a dead man switch with all their cloning information.
Do you think Trump took Obama's birth certificate?
Yes. I have it now.
Do you think he has it like framed up in his private office? And it's just instead of some American city, he just scribbled Kenya over it, or
with like a crayon.
Yeah,
Kenya.
I think he probably also took any information on Jeb Bush. I think that probably the highlight of his career was dabbing on Jeb Bush. So any further information he could use to bully that dweeb, he probably has in his back pocket if it ever becomes relevant or necessary again.
Probably all the Bushes. Like, there's, it's just as if he wants to rag on Jeb Bush, he could also be like, your dad was a pedophile, or I don't know. I don't know what George Bush did, other than crash an airplane. I'm sure it was heinous, though.
Yeah.
When did he crash an airplane?
2001.
George Bush Sr.
Oh, George Bush Sr. Okay.
Yeah. That's Jeb's dad, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously. Yes.
Okay.
Much to George Bush Sr.'s chagrin, yes, he is Jeb Bush's dad. All right. Well, I think we're going to end it with that. Any final thoughts to my, esteemed guest, Marsey, or my valiant and brave co-host, Micah, today?
Valiant.
I need a cigarette. That was good.
Yeah.
And a beer.
All right. Well, with that, pray for me, my gorillas. Pray for my speedy and hasty recovery from this Chinese virus. Peace out.
Yeah, I'm old as a boomer. My mind said I'm zooming. Everything cooler, long as I'm not Laura Lumen. If you think I'm not number one, I just spell that rumor. Hit that victory royale on some motherfucking coochie. Default dance on a bitch. Hit the default dance on a bitch. Floss dance while I'm flossing in a whip. Victory royale when that chopper hit. Self-incrimination.
What I should have mentioned is gay literature got bad when they weren't working under the threat of death. Like when it was like to be a gay literature writer, like you were under the threat of death, like you're going to be executed. Then they were like dark, tortured souls, which produced good literature. But then when that was gone, now they're just faggy. You know what I mean? Okay.
No, I hear you there. Yeah, as a resident expert on gay literature, I believe your opinion. I hear it. It's valid. You were heard. Thank you for your expert analysis.